Hello everyone and welcome to the show. This is your Forza Monthly for November 2023 and I'm your host Leah. It's been almost a month since Forza Motorsport started its journey in the hands of our community. I know you're all very curious to hear about the new content and improvements the Turn 10 team is working on for Update 2. And today they'll be joining us here on the show to guide us through everything to expect later this month. Playground Games is here as well. Between Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon 5, we have a packed Forza Monthly for you today. So let's take a quick look at what's coming up. Up first, Turn 10 will take us through Update 2 coming later this month, and with new cars, new events, a new track, and over 200 fixes. Then Playground Games goes all American in the new series for Forza Horizon 5 and will give us all the details. After that, we'll catch up with a man who's hard to catch. ESV Mars, one of the fastest drivers in Forza, joins us for our community spotlight. And then Ali Tak will join us once again with a look around the Forza community. This is a huge show bursting at the seams with Forza goodness, so we're going to get right into it now with an update number 2 for Forza Motorsport. I'm joined by Andy Bodwin, Forza Motorsport Game Director, and Brendan Monroe, Forza Motorsport Senior Producer. Hello, both of you, and welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks, Leah. How are you?
Doing great.
Also
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you so much for being here on the show today. Thanks for taking the time to talk to all of us about Update 2. Well, let's kick things off with you, Andy. Before we get into Update 2.0, can you give us a rundown of what players can expect in Forza Motorsport's live updates?
Yeah, for sure. So we are committed as the Forza Motorsport team to deliver new content and new quality of life updates and bug fixes to our players over time. That's really why we've made the game we have, is so that we can continuously update it with new goodness for players month after month. We're going to start that off with a whole bunch of new cars coming next month. We'll talk about some of those in a moment. Those are going to come in through various ways. Some will show up in the showroom, some will show up in career events, some will be reward cars. So lots of new car goodness coming. We've also got a new track coming this month with Yas Marina. It's one of my favorites. I'm excited to get my hands on playing it. Okay, I already have played it a little bit, but I'm excited to play it for real with other real players, so that'll be fun. And then we've also spoken about, we've got the Nordschleife for Nürburgring coming in spring. And then we've got another track coming next month in December that we are not yet announcing, but we will soon. So lots of good cars and tracks coming into the game. And we got new events, so all those new events will feature these new cars and tracks. So always something to do on a week-to-week basis and on a monthly basis. Of course, content's great. We've got our content and design teams working on those elements, but we've also got the entire motorsport engineering team right now focused on delivering bug fixes, quality of life updates. Every day, we've got new fixes getting into the game, and we as a motorsport leadership team will meet for an hour or two every day and looking at the bugs that we've had reported and deciding, risk versus reward, which ones are the most important to our community, which ones are going to give the biggest benefit to our players, and deciding which one of those get into the next release. We've got an army of testers who are kind of our unsung heroes that are spending a lot of time as we put those new fixes into the builds, testing the build, testing the experience, making sure that as we brought those fixes in, we've done it right and we haven't caused any new issues. Super important for us. And so just to be clear, all of those fixes are being prioritized by feedback from our community. So we've got the suggestion hub, which is where folks can leave requests for tweaks or changes to the experience they think would make their experience better. And then we've also got our troubleshooting hub, where people can report bugs. And the data that comes out of those two sources is key to us making decisions on what to fix, in which order, and in what priority. So lots of goodness coming over the next month. I think we've got about over 200 bugs that we fixed in this next release, Brendan.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, 200 is a ton. It sounds like you guys have been extremely busy. But Brendan, what improvements can players look forward to, in particular, in Update 2?
Yeah, so stability has been a huge area of focus and priority on our team, and so we've made massive improvements to the overall stability of the game, reducing crashes on all of our platforms, including one of the top player-facing issues, which was a soft lock or an infinite load or hang that would happen during the upgrade screen. So we're really excited to get this out. Stability will continue to be something very important that we focus on in updates to come beyond Update 2, but we're really proud of the work that we've done in this first major update to get these fixes out. We've made great fixes in our livery editor, including an error which would allow players to import some shared liveries that they were not supposed to, fixes to how painting works and to how you can paint within the wheels. If you're on PC, we've got a great improvement to the overall loading, especially if you're on AMD. We've resolved an issue that has players waiting for a long loading time every time they boot up the game to preload the shaders. That is resolved. Across featured multiplayer, some fantastic fixes to how matchmaking works, how party join works that should make the overall flow between races much more smooth for our players. Your custom livery should be showing up much more consistently in featured multiplayer. And we've resolved an issue with the countdown timer where it would pause or take too long on intermission.
Don't forget replays. So there were some good memes that showed up about our replays with cars floating and doing silly things. Enjoy those while they last, because we believe we've got that fixed as well. And we should be able to get good, consistent replays in our multiplayer matches moving forward.
Absolutely. Some great fixes across replay. As well as when the race starts, there were some camera issues where sometimes you'd be stuck in what seemed like a spectate mode. That's resolved. You're right into your car at the start of every featured multiplayer round. We also fixed some exploits and some tuning issues that we saw, as well as a forever loop that some players enter it into after seeing a new content update. So great to have that fixed. There's far too many car bugs that we resolved to name, but we're really proud, and all up, it's great to have this very quality release land with our players, and we're excited to share the full featured and patched notes with them.
Excellent. And as we've already said, Update 2, not only do you have a bunch of fixes, but you also introduced the first additional track to Forza Motorsport, Yas Marina. So, Andy, tell us about the track as we take a lap around it.
Yes, Yas Marina is one of those tracks that some folks love, some folks find it a little bit too challenging. I'm a big fan of this track. It's it's an iconic, beautiful track. The marina and the lights at night are just stunning, and I'm excited to be able to race through and underneath those when we get out there with our real players. One of the cool things I love about this track is that it's got really long straights that let you hit incredibly high speeds, but then it's also got a lot of really technical sections. We've got the updated hairpin that's a bit more flowy, gives some more overtaking, passing challenge or opportunities. We've got the north loop, we've got the north corkscrew, we've also got the south loop, and I think it's about a 3.25 mile full loop this track brings. So as I was saying, there are a lot of long straightaway sections that really push the top end of the cars, and so you're going to want to lean towards maybe a little bit less downforce to take advantage of those. But at the same time, you've also got a lot of these technical sections where a heavier amount of downforce is going to help you handle those better. So when it comes to building a car for this track, it's really going to be up to player choice and where they really want to stand out, what the best options are going to be. And what's awesome about bringing in this track with Motorsport is we're not just dropping it into free play. We are actually, every time we bring in a new track, we're going to go back and look at our Builders Cup career and try to find opportunities to bring these tracks into that career. So maybe you raced with, one of my favorite events is the super sedans, where we've got Audis and BMWs and AMG cars. I'm an Audi fan, so when I played through the first time, I played through with the RS5. But when we bring in new tracks, it's an opportunity to go back and play those same events again. And maybe I want to go back and try the C63, which is a really powerful rear-wheel drive car, and it's going to be a very different experience. And so as we're doing with Yas, every month when we bring in new tracks, we're looking for opportunities to bring those cars back into the core Builders Cup career as well. The Sesto Elemento, I think, is the showcase reward car this month. You want to talk a little more about that?
That is, yeah. So if you go over to the featured tab this month, you're going to see our Prestige Tour, and that's our showcase tour for this month. And Prestige this month is all about celebrating those cars and those brands that have earned their prestige, whether that's through technical excellence, bleeding edge technology, the storied history that they tell. So we're going to kick off the Prestige Tour this month all about British GT. And so this is going to really explore those British famous marquees that's made that country so famous. The second month is the V12 Power Series, really combining the harmony and the power of the V12 engine and telling the story about some of the most elusive cars ever built in the last 20 years. Next, we have the Maximum Velocity series. These are all the most fastest production cars ever built. And we close it all off with the boutique builds. And these really combine the art and technical performance of cars and some of the most limited edition cars ever built. These are all about supercars. If you're able to complete all 4 of these series, you'll earn a reward car, which, as we just called out, is that 2011 Lamborghini Sesta Elemento, and you'll be able to take that reward car into our reward series, and so immediately be able to compete with that car and start upgrading and building upon it. Going over to our open class tour, this month is all about Italian OEMs, and so Lamborghini, Maserati, Ferrari. If you enter in here, you're able to take your C-Class cars, your B-Class cars, A-Class cars, S, compete through here, and you'll earn the 2015 Ferrari 488 GTB, another amazing reward car for this month.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Now, Andy, can you tell us a little bit more about the spotlight cars that players will be driving in Update 2?
Yeah, for sure. So Brendan just ran through the events that we're going to be unlocking week to week. One of the fun things we like to do is whenever we unlock a new event, we're going to offer a car that's featured in that event for a 30% discount. So these are your spotlight cars. And we're going to start off with the 2016 Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce. That's going to be available in week 2. Following that, we've got the 2011 Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. That's going to be in the Maximum Velocity event. That car is known for being ridiculously fast, so it's an appropriate car for that series. We've also got the 2017 Saleen S7 LM. We have the 2016 Spania GTA Spano. And last but definitely not least is the 2020 Gordon Murray Automotive T50, the spiritual successor to the McLaren F1. It's an incredible car, an incredible piece of technology. It's got a massive fan on the back that sucks in air underneath the car to maximize the downforce for incredible grip. So many fun cars are going to be showing up in our career, and that will be available from week to week on sale as our spotlight cars. That's the career side of the spotlight cars. We also, on the featured multiplayer side, have a couple of great cars that are going to be put on discount in weeks 2 and 4. The first being the 2017 Mazda MX-5 Cup. And then we have the 2020 MG number 20 MG6 X-Power. Both of those will have spotlight events in featured multiplayer that you can compete with.
Speaking of featured multiplayer, Brendan, what's new for featured multiplayer events for players to actually drive these new cars?
Yeah, that's a lot of cars. So as Andy alluded to, not only do we have our rotating GT series, our touring car series, our spotlight series, we also have a lot of variety entering our rotating spec series this month. And so kicking it off with the vintage Le Mans sports car, and then week 2 is the Subaru BRZ spec event. And that's going to be an exciting one where everybody's playing against a homologated Subaru BRZ, same make, same model, even playing field, very exciting. We move on to the birth of the Grand Prix, and then we close things out with the Forza P2 series. So lots of fun stuff coming to featured multiplayer as well.
Amazing. And what about Rivals events?
I love Rivals, and a new track means all new leaderboards. And so Yas Marina entering the service means that we are going to be featuring that front and center in our featured Rivals. And this time around, it's the Yas Marina full circuit with the 2020 Koenigsegg Jesko. So this is a great place for you to start competing with these cars that you've fallen in love with, start hot lapping and climbing the leaderboards. For our VIP players, we have a month-long VIP event featuring the 2019 Velostar N Forza Edition, and that's going to be on Lime Rock. And then all of the Showcase Tour spotlight cars are also going to be featured in Rivals. And so after you familiarize yourself with these cars and fall in love with them, you can take them onto the track and start competing asynchronously against all of the other players. So very exciting in Rivals as well.
Excellent. And before we wrap up, I believe we have some new Car Pass cars to reveal as well. Let's take a look at them.
Yeah, so Car Pass, we bring in some great cars through our Car Pass program. So we've brought in a few already. Next up, we're going to be bringing in, starting off with an oldie but a goodie, the 1965 Lotus number 1. We've got the 2019 McLaren 03 number 03 720 GT3. That is a whole lot of numbers and letters. I love the 720S. It's a ridiculously fancy car. My wife has always said if we had one sports car, one supercar, it'd be a McLaren. I'm still saving my pennies, maybe someday. We've also got the 2018 Mercedes-AMG GT3. Both of those cars are GT3 cars, and one of the things I love about our featured multiplayer is the contrast between the touring cars, which are kind of light, nimble, super. I find them pretty easy to drive, and then you get in these super powerful GT3 cars. They've got a little bit more weight, a little bit higher speeds. It's really, really fun to tear these around the track. And last but not least, we've got the 2019 Peugeot No. 7 DG Sports Competition 308. So a great set of cars coming through our car pass this month. We look forward to hearing how players like those cars.
Definitely lots of new things to check out. Andy and Brendan, thank you so much for running us through the update and taking the time to come with us here on Forza Monthly this month. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks so much, Leah.
Thank you, Leah.
Update 2 for Forza Motorsport is available Tuesday, November 14th. Enjoy the new track Yas Marina then, with the update's new events beginning on November 16th. Now it's time for our Forza Horizon 5 update. Due to scheduling issues, I sat down with Playground Games last week to run through it all, so don't be alarmed as I time travel and teleport into their studios right before your very eyes. All right, pass, Leah.
Thanks, future Leah. Well, it's time to heat up your barbecue grills and put on your cowboy hats because the Horizon Festival is ready to celebrate American Automotive. So without further ado, let's dive straight in and see what's coming up on today's show. First up, we'll start by walking you through all the events and rewards you can earn in this month's festival playlist. Next, alongside the introduction of a new car pack, we'll bathe ourselves in a sea of all American cars by taking a few of them out for a ride in our brand new race routes. Following that, it will be time for our regularly scheduled EventLab of the Month spotlight. Then our community developer Giuseppe will come in to walk us through some community updates. And lastly, we'll wrap up by giving you a sneak peek at what's to come next month. So let's start by introducing our guests for today's show. First up, we have our trusty design assistant, Joe Glasgow. Hello!
Hi Leah, yeah, can't wait to jump into the new series.
Absolutely.
Really excited for it.
I can't wait to see you drive. I'm excited to...
I can't drive. Chris is the driver.
Nonsense.
I've tried, but he will never give me the controller. So
wow.
It's because you're better than me.
Well, spoiler alert for our other guest. We'll get to Chris in a minute, but he's been hard at work on getting our new race routes hooked up and ready for everyone's enjoyment. It's level designer Nigel Norman.
Hi Leah, thanks for having me. Always great to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming back. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about as
We
well.
do indeed, yeah. We'll get into it.
Yes, and you're all freshly clean shaven as
I've
well.
got a cold face. It's the start of November, so yeah, this is all very, very. I'm still getting used to it.
For a
But
good
yeah.
cause, yes. And finally, you all know him by now. It's our vehicle director and muscle car. Oh, see, the script originally said muscle connoisseur, which I preferred, and now it says muscle car connoisseur to make sure we all know.
Yeah, we know exactly which kind of muscle it is.
Exactly. It's Chris Phillips. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you. It's great to have you all here. I'm very excited about this American Automotive as well. Lots of great cars coming up, which actually, some of these manufacturer names are, every time I've seen them, I'm like, that's completely unexpected. Is that the automotive manufacturer name? I don't know. And it is. So let's kick off our American celebrations with some festival playlist rewards. And Joe is going to talk us through everything we've got this month.
I certainly can. Yeah, so American Automotive is here. We've got some awesome artwork here, and for the first reward, we had the CT5 given away last series, but this series you can grab the Cadillac CT4 for 80 points, and then a classic Ford F-150 for 160 points. We'll jump into the first week, which is summer and the wet season. We've got the amazing Corvette Z06 2023 for 20 points, and the Belvedere 1964 for 40 points. Let's jump over to the weekly challenge. Trying an interesting thing this series. You can pick two cars. For this, it's the 1965 Ford Mustang, and or you can pick the 2018 Ford Mustang GT, so old and new. We'll jump through to the daily challenges that you can complete and the Forzathon shop. Let's jump in and have a look. Some very cool USA race gloves. We've got Horizon Arcade this week. The Trial, Cars and Stripes. And then the first EventLab by GT Deny. This is Crop Circle Stadium Rally. This is like a rallycross style track built on one of the crop circles in Mexico. Great for kind of drifting and getting the back out. And then jumping over into Vexity's The Wild Wild West. This is one of the first event labs that we're featuring on EventLab Island. It's like a city recreation with fast straights and like tight technical sections. Really impressive map. We've got the PR stunts. This is USA in S1, some seasonal championships. We've got the photo challenge in the 2018 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The Eliminator, a very fun collectible field goal. It's a huge inflatable American football. The monthly rivals, a little sneak peek at one of the cars there, and in fact 2 of the cars, and also a little sneak peek at one of the new racetrack names. So we'll jump into those later. And then finally finish off the week, we've got the Rally Adventure PR Stunts and Seasonal Championship, and the Hot Wheels PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship. Yeah, so that's summer. We'll jump into autumn, the storm season. We've got the Chevy Nova 1966 for 20 points and the Pontiac Firebird 1968 for 40 points. We've got the weekly challenge, Bucking Broncos. So here you can pick the 1975 Ford Bronco or the new 2021 Ford Bronco. We've got some daily challenges and the Forzathon shop, the trial Pick Up the Pieces, and the first event lab of the week by Cryonica. Sorry if I said that wrong. Midtown Urban City. So this is an epic night race through a sprawling cityscape. Lots of handcrafted roads, tunnels and bridges. Awesome map. And jumping on to the next one by Dr. Insanity 8543. This is Motor Insanity Stormy Bay. This is like a chaotic off-road track with debris everywhere. You can follow the road or you can go off track and find your way to the checkpoints. Jump across, we've got PR stunts. This week it's A-Class in the Jeep Trailcat. We've got some seasonal championships, Stop Hummer Time.
Hummers
Nice.
this series are on point.
The
Yeah.
talk, that's also low-key.
We've got the treasure hunt, the photo challenge. Horizon Open is in this week. And then back with the monthly rivals, the Rally Adventure PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship, and the Hot Wheels PR Stunt and Seasonal Championship.
And you get the dinosaur outfit for the Open, which is, arguably the best outfit in the game.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
It's not even it just is. It is.
So let's jump out of autumn and we'll go to winter. We've got the amazing Lucid Air for 20 points and the Pontiac GTO 1969 for 40 points. There was an extra bit of that car name, wasn't there?
Pontiac GTO Judge.
Judge, yeah, sorry, very important. Chris was angry at me earlier for missing that out.
Yeah.
We've got the Forzathon Weekly Challenge in, again, you can pick between the 1995 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 or the 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. We've got the daily challenges and the Forzathon shop, the trial Power Slide, and the first event lab of the week by a EventLab veteran, Subi156. This is, again, I probably will get this wrong, Markenhaft Bergpass. This it actually was one of the event labs of the month, I think a few series back. It's like a mountain pass road with great architecture, houses, a castle, and there's an epic dam that you drive over as well, so awesome event. And then the second one of the week by Unrivaled 20, Tokyo Bay Drift. It's in the name, it's a drift circuit around the docks, great for power slides and taking out your best drift cars. Great event to try. Seasonal Playground Games is in for this week, Patriot Games. We've got the PR stunts in the Ford Mustang 2000 in B class. Can You Afford It? And Independence Day.
I know I said the puns were on point in this series.
You spoke too soon. We've got the treasure hunt, the photo challenge, Horizon Open, Knick Knack Cadillac.
All right.
Back up again. They're coming back up again.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting to see where they go with
Roller
you.
coaster today.
The Eliminator. We've got monthly rivals, and finally finishing off with the Rally Adventure PR stunts and seasonal championships, and the Hot Wheels PR stunts and seasonal championships. And finally, spring, the hot season. We've got the Roussillon Q1 for 20 points, and the Continental 1962 for 40 points. We'll jump through to the weekly challenge, which you can pick between the 1986 Ford F-150 and the 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor. We'll jump through, you've got daily challenges and the Forzathon shop, the trial Kentucky Derby, pushing it slightly there, and the first event lab of the week by Aldeer 097, Circuito White Wolf. So this is night race on a hand-built track. There's floodlit grandstands, tree-lined roads, and just nice lighting in general for this one. This is actually the only event lab for this week. We'll jump through over to the PR stunts. This is A-Class USA, some seasonal championships, and the Horizon Tour for 8 points. So remember, you can grab 8 points for that. The treasure hunt, the photo challenge, and the monthly rivals. And finishing off with the Rally Adventure PR stunt and seasonal championships, and the Hot Wheels PR stunts and seasonal championships.
Excellent.
That's us.
Thank you very much, Joe. The festival playlist is looking pretty good, and there's definitely a big chunk of American cars for players to look forward to. However, I believe there's also a little extra something else, Chris?
So what better than a load of new cars, but also a load of new rims. So we've got 27 new HRE rims this series. There's a lovely graphic showing them all. Some really fantastic looking rims. I really like HRE stuff, and yeah, it goes really well on American Automotives.
Absolutely, a lot of variety there to mess around with, and those new HRE rims would go really well with some brand new cars, I'm thinking. So why don't we grab a few and show them off? What have we got first?
So first up, we have a hotly requested car from the community, the Corvette Z06. So we've got the C8 already in game. The Z06 is like a track version of it. Z06 and then ZR1 are the two kind of track-orientated ones. So here we've got a 5.5 litre mid-engined, because C8 Corvette went mid-engined, V8. Ridiculously quick car. 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, which we will do. Then we'll do a lap of the oval. So yeah, the Z06, to say, it's kind of track focus. So you can see versus the normal C8, we've got wing, splitter, canards, things like that. It's also wider than the normal one, so it can have some bigger tyres under it as well for the grips. And it works really well on the oval.
Yeah, so speaking of the oval, people will notice that Chris is driving it in free roam. This means we're bringing back the oval for American Automotive. So, you know, we're blown away by the massively positive response people seeing the oval track before. So yeah, we thought, what better time to bring it back than American Automotive?
Perfect series to bring it back.
Yeah. The only difference this time around is that Chris has just driven past one there, but we have a new collectible. You might have seen him drive past it a couple of times. We have a big American football. So go on, give it.
Oh,
America!
Fun.
So yeah, you know, we just love the oval. We love how people were driving it. Every time I went there, you know, on my game, it was just full of people just absolutely, you know, whizzing around the oval. So yeah, really happy to bring this one back.
Great for testing the new cars out. It's just you go there in the free roam and just try different cars and put them to the test.
Absolutely. Definitely great to see a fan favourite return for the American Automotive series. However, our players might be interested in seeing some of those new race routes, or routes, as we mentioned before. So let's grab another car and take a look, shall we? Because we've got some new scenery to look at, well, in a manner of speaking, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, we saw some suggestions from some of the community saying that they'd like to see reverse routes. You know, it takes probably about the same amount of time to make a reverse route than it does a brand new one. So we thought we've got a really good opportunity here to bring something totally brand new and unique to the game. So we've got 4 brand new sprint races. So you can see them here on screen. We've got Aerodromo Sprint, Linea Costera Sprint, Marigold Sprint, and Vista Del Mar Sprint. Like I said, all 4 of these are Apex road racing events, and they will be permanent editions. Yeah, permanent. There forever. Yeah. So that's awesome. And the other important thing to note is that these are 4 brand new race start locations. So for our EventLab creators, we've got 4 brand new start points for them to create their awesome routes. And lastly, they will also be entering a rotation for Horizon Open, so you'll be able to play all 4 of these routes online with your friends or fellow competitors.
Yeah, they're also included in the seasonal playlist as well, so you'll see those. One of the monthly rivals is on Linea Costera, so you'll be able to try those, and future series as well, they'll be included.
Excellent. And we're actually going to check out one of those routes now, the Linea Costera, and we're going to check it out in one of the brand new reward cars. So Chris has got some facts.
Let's jump in. So yep, we've got the Lucid Air Sapphire. Sapphire is the most performant variant of the car. Go to chase cams from this here. Yeah, so it's kind of a luxury super saloon sedan. It's American Automotive, we should call it a sedan. It's ludicrously fast. It's one of the quickest accelerating cars in the world at the minute. So 0 to 60, 1.9 seconds. It does that with a colossal 1,234 horsepower, which is just a lovely number. And yeah, it's, as I say, it's a luxury car.
You know it's quick as well because Chris is winning.
It is.
Yeah.
Oi.
It's all down to the car.
So yeah, it's got things like a glass canopy. We'll go back to the interior. It's got really nice, no comments, Joe. Really nice interior. I mean, I haven't got much else to say because 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds.
That's all you need to say.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I like the glass canopy roof is becoming more common now as well, which is really nice. Just as a passenger, being able to like gaze up at the city, the sky, it's always really nice. But it's this one also that's out of California, isn't it? It seems like there's a lot of these type of
There
cars
is a
coming
lot
out
of new starts coming out of California. We'll have one later on in the show as well, actually.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think EVs kind of allow for new manufacturers to come along and try something a bit different as well.
Yeah.
And much like this car, which is a kind of a bit of a different take on this segment of the market.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, there you go. That is the Lucid Air. And what better way to continue our streak of all-American vehicles this show than by introducing the brand new American Automotive Car Pack. And you can take a look at that right here. Hey, there you go. Available on November 7th, the supercharge your garages with these 4 new to Forza cars, which will be available to purchase separate from the Forza Horizon 5 Car Pass, Standard, Deluxe and Premium editions, and can be found on the Microsoft Store and Steam for $4.99, £3.99 or €4.99. I think we have time to show more cars, so yeah, let's do it. Why don't we check them out? We've got another one. We're going to check this one out on the Marigold Sprint route, which, I mean, aptly named, as we'll go into now. Actually, yeah, Nigel, do you want to tell us more about the route first?
Yeah, so this is aptly named Marigold Sprint because we go through a flower field that has lots of marigolds in it. So yeah, it's aptly named, and it's also very stunning as you drive through. But yeah, just on these new routes, we wanted to give the player something like truly unique. So what we've done is we've tried to use as many roads, tarmac roads as possible. That haven't really been used as much. So these are all brand, they should feel brand new. And it's just super exciting to just be able to add new race routes to the game.
It's been highly requested. I think a lot of players ask for new routes, and we always look at those requests, and it was just really nice, a great opportunity for us to bring some new tracks to the players.
Yeah, exactly. I think last time we had the oval, we added the oval circuit as a brand new permanent route. So again, like you say, we just had a great opportunity to add a few more. And again, these will act just as any other Apex route, so EventLab stubs and online racing with these as well. So we can't wait for players to get stuck into these routes. And
you can get stuck in one of the new car pack cars as well.
That's it, yeah.
They're called the Zinger, despite its spelling.
Singer,
sorry.
Zinger.
Yeah, Singer.
21C. So this is the other one that's it's out of California, kind of a new company that's come about. This thing's really interesting. So bits of it have been designed using AI, which is, I think it might be a first. That gives these kind of incredible structures, like main structures to the car. Then on top of that, those parts are 3D printed in metal because being AI generated is not good enough. Got a 3D print in metal.
It's wild.
And then it's got a different kind of cockpit layout. I'm going to try and not crash here. So the driver and passenger sit kind of in front of each other. So
Like a fighter jet.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly like a fighter jet. I'm really struggling to. There we go. So you can see it's got a very narrow cockpit. So
I
that's
didn't think
to
you could fit a passenger in there, so the fact that you can is...
you can just yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And that's to lower the frontal area of the car because this car is all about aerodynamics. So it does make a lot of power. It actually makes more than the Lucid, which is somewhat unbelievable. It has the same 0 to 60 times as the Lucid. Apparently that's just common these days.
Yeah.
So 1.9 seconds to 60, I think it's 1,350 horsepower from a 2.88 litre twin turbocharged V8. And as I say, all about downforce, this thing. So it's the top of S2. I can't remember the numbers it makes. It's a ridiculous amount of downforce. It's very stuck to the road. Very fun car.
Well, hopefully you guys will have a ton of fun with these great American cars. Now we'll wave goodbye to Nigel, unfortunately, to make room for a quick guest swap. But thank you for walking us through the new race routes that are coming in the series. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up next, you know what time it is. That's right, it's EventLab of the month time, and let's give a warm welcome to our community developer, Giuseppe Delicante. Hello! Hope you're ready for some EventLab chaos or action, or both.
I can't wait. Ciao, Leah. Nice to see you again. And yeah, we are ready for some actions for this particular one that I can't wait to have a go.
I'm very excited to watch everybody try and play this because it is mad. This month we are highlighting an event called Grasslands Runner. It was created by none other than Twisted Knot, who I interviewed a few months ago. So it's a regular on the show, clearly. It's just high quality creations.
It is.
Let's take a look.
So Grasslands Runner, we are gonna do this in a Fiat 595 SS or 595. They picked the car on purpose just because I'm here, not because it's convenient.
Sure, we picked it.
So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So essentially, what this is an obstacle course.
Your time, by the way, so you've got to go.
Thank you. So, like Joe suggested, we have limited time to try to go through these obstacles, trying not to fail, which is gonna probably happen very soon, because you don't trust an Italian driving, do you? So, but so far I'm doing good.
You're multitasking by talking and doing this, and that's hard.
Wait a couple of seconds. But yeah, basically, if you manage to go through this successfully, like I was saying,
Though.
pretty good, yeah. So I'm gonna continue. So after the timer is up, like now, you cannot accelerate anymore. So essentially, you need to try to get to the end of the course fastest as possible. Obviously, now it's easy to do it like this. So the challenge is that you need to try this, you know, and set a nice record. And then if you can manage to do that, well done, congratulations. But most of the time, you're gonna fail. I mean, if you have the same skill level that I have, and there is no rewind. So it's either you continue to meditate and thinking about your life, or just restart the game and then you can do it again.
And we don't want to think about our lives.
We don't want to think. No, honestly. So that's why I'm passing this to Joe.
I will. I'll pass it to Chris.
The best is Chris. There you go.
There we go.
Joe doesn't want to play his hand too early
Yeah.
because Joe's been playing a lot of this, and he's
the
really too
mechanic. He
good.
knows. He knows stuff. Right? Do you? No. So I will define this track as frustratingly good, which is not, you know, an offense. It's like, it's very well done because Twisted Knot knows how to put pieces in the right place.
It looks like it makes you want to keep trying, right?
Exactly. So, well, Chris is actually doing very, very well now. I can keep doing the commentary, so I'm actually waiting for him to fail. But he doesn't.
He's
So there you go. So yeah, there is no rewind here. So yeah, we can restart the event again.
Yeah, so you can just drift right to the end if you want to, but that's kind of against the spirit of things. You're not going to get the sense of pride and accomplishment if you drift to the end. You've got to go at speed.
Exactly.
And you don't have long.
Yeah, it's not long, but I mean, I'm not supposed to say this, but I found a way to go completely around the track, but that defeats the purpose of this.
The dinosaurs would be very disappointed.
Yeah.
They would judge.
You'll cheat yourself, you'll cheat everyone around
Exactly.
you. Yeah,
So don't do like me, just doing proper And you see, Chris is not, it's so concentrated, he's not saying
This
a
is
single
the
word.
most quiet Chris has ever been.
Oh.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
And these are so masterfully placed because they really do punish you for not taking the perfect line.
You know what this Twisted Knot looks like when he's actually making this? You know the Walter White meme when he's actually putting the drops and he's picking all the pieces to say, you're gonna fail this. So that's, and he's actually right now is like laughing, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
and I
not.
think that's how Twisted Knot probably feels. It's just,
Probably.
I know I've done something difficult. Very, very good.
The last try for Chris. So see, he's not talking at all. He just wants to complete. It's like it's so competitive, man.
It brings out the competitiveness, I think, which is fantastic.
It really is.
Now, imagine the chaos of having this, but with multiple people trying to do it at the same time.
Yeah, it does worry me that this is in brackets solo, that there is a multiplayer version of
Yes.
this.
That's just going to be chaos.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Imagine doing this with the Unimog.
yeah.
That's just
Impossible.
Next stream?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can do like.
that one up.
Actually, you're criticizing it. Why don't you have a go now?
Or I'll
Go on,
give it
Joe.
one. I'll give
Yeah,
it
go
one.
on,
I'll
we'll
give
give
it
it
one.
a go.
Come on. So, you control the entire group of people. Just everybody picks up at the 500, and you go there with the Unimog. You're gonna have a lot of.
Oh, see, look at that. Immediately you can tell Joe's played this a few times. There's a bit of skill going.
Chris is gonna.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to finish it.
You will. Come on, John. John.
John.
I just called you
This
John.
is distracting.
Sorry, I'm doing it on purpose, so you're gonna fail. No, you're not failing. Come on. Fail.
That's the power.
No, no pushing. I was pushed.
Sorry.
Unfortunately.
It's harder, it's harder.
Okay, I
That's
had
all
to
we've
do
got
that
time
because
for.
he was gonna win. So
Exactly. I mean,
stop him.
we can't give away how good we are at this so far. We've got to let everyone else put their times in first. Though, I will say, in earlier practice, Joe did get 28 seconds. So
Yeah.
you beat that. Yeah.
But again, it's one of those really good events that you can kind of jump back in and try again, and it's almost like you've got to learn which side to go on and
Yes.
kind of micro adjustments. So yeah, it's an awesome event.
Very
So,
replayable.
yeah, well done to Twisted Knot.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if you want to play it yourself, you can check it out right now in the PG Editor's Choice tab in-game, or you can look it up using the share code shown on screen right now, which is 262-651-007. But now it's time to talk about some community updates. Giuseppe, what do you have for us?
So first of all, you might remember that in early 2022 we introduced the American Sign Language and British Sign Language, and we continue to expand on that. And we work with our accessibility consultants. So we are happy to share that since with the new update, the Donut Media High-Low stories and Icons of Speed will feature American Sign Language and British Sign Language in the cinematics. So this basically includes full American and British Sign Language support for every Horizon stories.
Amazing. And you can enable it yourself as well, and it will give you one of the sign language interpreters on screen during cutscenes whenever there's dialogue. So
Exactly.
if anybody hard of hearing, there's more options now to enjoy the game, which is awesome. I mean, I think it's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't see many games doing this kind of thing. So yeah, big applause. It's hard to implement something so intense. So
We appreciate all the time that has been spent for this, and we hope that our community appreciate the efforts, and we want to make the game more accessible for everybody. So.
excellent. Thank you. Well, it's great to see, and big props to the accessibility and cinematics team for working on implementing these sign language options into the game. And also, this month marks the 2-year anniversary of the release of Forza Horizon 5. It's been 2 years already, somehow. We've been roaming the incredible expanse of Mexico this whole time, so I can't believe it. Time has flown. It was on November 5th, 2021, when we all got the chance to visit beautiful Mexico and take part in its Horizon Festival. Since then, the Playground Games team has been hard at work, continuing to evolve the Horizon experience by coming up with monthly series updates and, of course, live streams, as we are doing right now. Well, let's take a look at this lovely graphic featuring all the content that's been released so far. Look at it. Look at it. It looks like an Argos catalogue. In the best way. Like, I want to circle which ones I want for Christmas. But yeah, wow, that's a lot. For 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
If you think the game how it was when we launched and how it is today, and
Absolutely.
we haven't finished yet. So
Look at all that. And do you have a favourite, maybe? Anything you've particularly enjoyed playing or working on?
I think for me it's the anniversary update.
Ooh,
It was
okay.
very special and yeah, quite close to my heart. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say anniversary update as well. Just playing, obviously being a player from Horizon 1 all the way up to Horizon 5, Definitely might have shed a tear.
Like a little travel back through time.
But yeah, I won't copy Chris. Probably the Rally Adventure Pack. Just those roads there was so much fun. Yeah, really standout point for me. Giuseppe?
I don't know which one to pick, if it's the photo mode update or the EventLab, because the photo mode is just because gave ways to the community to make new memes.
Yeah, always good.
Always
risky, always good.
But honestly, I think the EventLab 2.0 update has been a game changer, because honestly, it adds incredible possibilities to people that are already talented to create even more masterpieces, and people with no skills like me to make something nice. It looks okay, not nice, okay. So.
Well, you've made the tools so easily usable by everybody that even Giuseppe can.
Even Giuseppe can. Imagine. So
That's the bar now.
that's a very low bar.
It's
very sub-zero barriers. So yeah.
Well, thank you to all of you who've taken part in the Mexico Festival and continue to support the team's efforts to bring you the best racing experience. It's been a fantastic 2 years, and I can't wait for more personally. But speaking of thanking the community, I believe Giuseppe might have some more news to share with us.
Me again? My God, it's boring. Hold on.
The Giuseppe show.
This is the I'm sorry for you all, but I need to pick something that is extremely heavy. No, it's not heavy. It's you might remember this, yeah.
Yes.
So this is the Golden Tank Award. So some of our viewers might remember that last year we introduced the Golden Tank Awards, which we are happy to announce it's coming back. Yay. Yes, for the Golden Tanks Award 2023. So for those who need a reminder, these awards celebrate the amazing creations from our EventLab community, you know, the people that know how to do this stuff, not me. And of course, they have to be picked with different categories. And this year, we'll do things a little bit differently. So next month, we'll be announcing the short list of 5 nominees per category. And voting will begin, so this means that overall winners will be selected directly by you, so the players. Yeah, also you, yeah, exactly.
It's just me.
You too, yeah, exactly. So we have 6 categories this year. So let's take a look. And these are the categories. Obviously, EventLab Creation of the Year. You don't say. Best EventLab Island event, because with EventLab Island, people starting to create.
It's a different flavour of creation,
different flavour, like cities and, standalone maps, basically. Most creative event, best photo location, best race event, and the best prefab, which again comes with EventLab 2.0, so people can make their own props, and we're going to have that as well.
Excellent. Lots of different categories to get involved in,
yes.
and you can still get involved, can't you? Exactly.
So, as I said, we'll announce this the shortlist next month. So you have a few more weeks to complete any of the masterpieces you're already working on, and the winners will be announced early next year.
Excellent. There you go.
So I was going to say as well, if you do have any event labs, make sure you put them in the forums and the Forza forums and on the Forza official Discord, because that's where we'll be looking for those.
And that's how you steal my job. So there you go. There you have it, everybody.
But there is still time to get involved, though. So if you do, as Giuseppe said, have any creations that you want to be considered for next year's Golden Tank Awards, then get them in now. Finish them up. You've got a few weeks left. But after that, cut-off point. So good luck to you all. And although the year is slowly coming to an end, the Horizon Festival never stops. There's a whole celebration all year round. So let's take a look at what's coming next month, shall we?
Yes, so winter is coming. We've got the Winter Wonderland starting December 7th. We've got a festive stadium makeover. This is amazing. The Secret Santa is returning with 2 cars this time. 2 of the most amazing cars we've brought to the game. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm bigging this one up.
Yeah, okay.
We've got another new racetrack. If 4 wasn't enough for you, we've got another one next series. And then we've got new cars as well, of course.
And with that, we reach the end of our portion of the show. A big thank you to everyone for tuning in and to all of our lovely guests for showing us the latest Forza Horizon 5 news. We hope you all have plenty of spare time when the American Automotive Series starts on November 9th. Stay tuned for some lovely photos, courtesy of the official contest held every week on the Forza forums. Our community spotlight is up next. Adios!
Adios!
Adios! Ciao! Enjoy the American Automotive update for the win. Please. Oi! Stop pushing me.
It's time for our community spotlight. Please join me in welcoming the one and only ESV Mars to the show. Hello, Mars, and welcome to Forza Monthly.
Hi, Leah. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. I mean, anyone who plays Horizon should recognize your name because you are all over the leaderboards, and based on community rankings, you're currently considered the fastest driver in the game. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have an ELO system that's been developed by a member of the community called Yo-Yo Gavry, and the system works to evaluate every person in the system's performances and racing. So every time you do a competitive race, it's implemented into the database, and your overall result is visible to everybody. So you can see your overall ranking. And each race you do, your ranking is changed or adjusted depending on your performance. And overall, I'm rank 1 on the leaderboard. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds extremely competitive. I mean, for a competitive game already, you got an extra competitive layer here. I mean, how long have you been racing? And was there like a particular event that put you on the map, or was it a gradual build-up?
Yeah, so I started racing on Forza in 2020 in March. We were in lockdown during COVID, so kind of didn't have anything else to do. But it took a while for me to become kind of recognized. I think November 2021, there was a Team Wars race on the Forza official stream, and I won that race with my team Nuts. And that's kind of where I started to gain more popularity or more exposure. Yeah,
got that renown going. And I mean, to get to the top of the leaderboards, you had to overtake a lot of drivers along the way, which eventually earned you an invite from Forza to travel to LA and share your skills in a new video series which Forza released to YouTube called Class is in Session. So that's a lot of information to take in, first of all. So let's take a moment here. You went to LA with Forza to record a very unique, bespoke show, which is incredible. What was the experience like?
Honestly, it was surreal. It was such a cool experience. Getting to work with so many people that I've seen and I've watched online before, and I've interacted with online, and getting to meet them in person for the first time. It was such a cool experience, and being invited, just that in itself was such a cool honor. Yeah, it was really great, and then obviously getting to play the game early and record stuff for Forza. It was such a great experience.
Absolutely, perks of the job, and we actually do have a clip from that video, so let's check it out.
Hey, I'm Mars, and I'm a Forza Motorsport expert. I'm here with some quick tips on the different types of passing you can apply in-game. The most basic pass is an inside pass. You'll set this up by moving to the inside of your opponent as you enter the corner. For an outside overtake, this is set up when your opponent takes the inside line. You can use it to pull your car around the turn and carry more speed than your opponent. And then as you exit the turn, you want to try to keep hold of this speed, and you'll have more speed than your opponent who's taken an inside line. You can use that speed to overtake them as you exit the corner. Master these, and you'll become an agile threat on track. Check out our full-length Class in Session lesson on passing.
Play it on Xbox.
There you go. That was just a snippet, but you can check out the full series on the Forza YouTube channel right now. But back to Mars, you were strictly a Horizon player until Forza Motorsport was released a month ago. So you switched over, right? How has that been for you?
Yeah, so I switched over completely, and it's been a really cool experience. Moving into, I wouldn't say a new community, but it's a wider community. I've started to interact with a lot more people that weren't around for the Horizon 5. They didn't play it, so yeah, it's been a really cool experience. I've moved in, and I've come in as a Horizon player into a different game. Full of very fast people that only play motorsport, and I'm trying to establish myself and prove that Horizon players can compete. So it's been such a cool experience, and proving to people that Horizon players have what it takes. That's kind of been the whole month has been trying to prove myself.
It sounds like quite a fun challenge, to be honest. It feels like there's the competition level is so high on motorsport as well, with how many people have played it for so long at this point. I mean, how have you been faring on the Forza Motorsport leaderboards so far?
Yeah, so I'm definitely coming into a community that's been playing the motorsport series far longer than I have, but I haven't been doing too badly for myself. I've got a couple of top 10s already. There's a rivals on Hakone in the Cadillac LMP car, and I'm in the top 10 on that, and that's full of some pretty well-known fast people, so to be able to get myself on that leaderboard has been pretty good. So not doing too badly for the first month of motorsport.
Absolutely. And it's still early days, still a lot of time to go, yeah? I look forward to seeing your name pop up more and more as time goes on. But what advice do you have for Forza Horizon players who are playing Forza Motorsport for the first time?
I would say make sure that you're getting involved in the competitive community if you want to improve. You want to be racing against people that are faster than you. You don't want to stick to racing your friends and your same group of people, because you're not going to push yourself at all. Obviously, you can still play with your friends and it's still fun. But if you want to really focus on improving and making the transition into motorsport a lot easier for yourself, you want to be racing and learning from the best. So I recommend getting into the competitive communities as early as you possibly can, really, and trying to learn from those that are a lot faster than you, which is what I'm doing myself at the moment.
I mean, excellent. And with that in mind, are there any sort of leagues or groups you'd recommend for players looking into breaking into the competitive scene?
Yeah, so primarily you're going to look at Discord servers for competitive Forza. I'd recommend, there's two for Horizon players that I'd recommend first, which would be Racing Haven and Forza Team Wars. These two are communities that have only recently started in Forza Motorsport, the same as myself. And they're going to be moving into the new game and running events for all over, people that are coming from Horizon, people that are already established on motorsport. It's going to be a really nice mix. And also for those that are primarily focused on motorsport already, there's Tora, which has already been running enduro races and leagues for years, way before I started playing Forza. And that's probably the highest competition at the moment, is Tora.
Yeah. And we hear a lot about Tora here on Forza Monthly as well, so it's always great to get a Tora name drop. They work very hard. So you mentioned your videos and streaming earlier, so tell us a little bit more about your channels and what viewers might find there.
Yeah, so primarily you're going to find me on Twitch. My Twitch is ESV_Mars, and you'll find me there racing pretty much every day. I'll be talking to chat, giving people tips, as well as racing against some of the best people in the game who like to join my lobbies. And the lobbies are also public, so if anyone from the chat wants to join, wants to get involved in the action, they can just send me a message and I'll get them in the lobby. I also have a YouTube channel, which is ESV Mars. I post like rivals laps there, so anything that I've done that I think is noteworthy, I try to post it on YouTube so people can see the lap and see the lines that I've taken. And then finally my Twitter, which is ESV_Mars. I like to post race results there and just my general thoughts on the game, anything like that. And I like to retweet anything that's involved in the competitive scene. So if there's a new league coming out, I'll retweet it so people can go and find it. So if you want to keep updated on the competitive scene, probably go to my Twitter.
Great. Well, you'll be streaming right after this show, in fact. So if you are on Twitch, you can stick around and see you in action, because we'll be raiding you straight over on your stream after Forza Monthly. Mars, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and best of luck with the motorsport leaderboards.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been great.
Up next, community events with Ali Tak, right after a quick break. lovely. And now it's time for community events. Our trusted community expert, Turn 10 community manager, Ali Tak, joins us now to give us the lay of the land. Hello, Ali.
Yeah.
It's great to see you. Hello.
It's nice to be here. Thank you. Lay of the land. I'm going to be looking around the community, giving you guys a few of the sort of best landmarks that I can find, I guess, to carry on the metaphor a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, and lay of the land makes me feel like a treasure hunt. But the real treasures here are clearly the events from the community. So speaking of, we wanted to start with the Rivals events, which are back in full swing with Forza Motorsport. So what do you have for us?
Yeah, after launching the game, one of the really cool things we saw was just how much positivity, how much fun there was being had around the Rivals events. And for me, it was a really good excuse to just dig back into the old file of facts and talk to a few people I hadn't for a little while. So I've managed to get back in touch with an old friend who I saw right at the top of the leaderboard.
My goodness, you don't seem old enough to have a file of facts, Ali. Not a day over 30. Well, let's take a look at that then. We've got a little video. Check it out.
Welcome to a new section where we talk about some of the new hot laps happening in the featured Rivals section of Forza Motorsport. Today, I'm very happy to be joined in voice by the mighty Mitch, one of the top 10 finishers in this month's featured Rivals, and a good number of other racing accolades as well. What's up, Mitch?
Hey, thanks so much, Ali. And hopefully at the time this goes out, still be at the top.
Nice. Well, maybe you can jump right in and give us a demonstration lap of how to drive around this circuit.
Okay, let's go for a lap. So it's a fairly short run down to the first turn. Just holding it in fourth gear here to really maximise top speed before the braking zone. And then hard on the brakes into turn one. Don't be afraid to use the lower gears here. Second, even first gear, you'll find the car will rotate a bit more on entry. Important to be as smooth as possible for this little S section. If you start jabbing at the wheel, you'll find you'll end up using a few hundredths to your lap time, and it all counts. And coming up to very tricky double right-hander now. Hard on the brakes again. You can be really aggressive on the throttle here. Dab at the brakes, shift down a gear into the sweeping left, carry as much momentum as you can before braking. Another double down shift into the penultimate corner. Again, using the lower gears for rotation, and then gentle on the throttle as you exit. Entry curve is quite unforgiving on this left-hander. Careful as you come onto the straight, easy run down to the start-finish line.
So on the way into the lap, before you've even started, how many rewinds will you do to get every possible mile an hour out of the last corner?
I think it depends how long I've been lapping. If I've been lapping for an hour or two, I might be like, nah, not going to rewind.
On the exit of turn one, I felt like you were one of the drivers who was kind of not right up over the curb, but also not sloppy on the middle of the circuit. When you're exiting corners, is that something that you're strategizing around?
For this track particularly, it doesn't seem to matter too much if you take quite a tight entry or like a later apex. I think as long as you're carrying enough momentum, you'll find the lap times there for either line.
So your throttle control on the way out of the slower corners in the mid lap was super good, and I think that's one of the places where you really picked up a lot of speed on the drivers who were around you. Have you got any tricks for people on the right trigger? I
think just have faith that the car will stick. Like I said in the lap, you can be quite aggressive on the throttle in some areas, and some areas you have to be quite gentle on the throttle. So I think it's just finding a balance, and the more laps you do, it will come naturally.
So the last corner here at Hakone has a kind of a bit of a hero or zero vibe to it. It's pretty fast. What are you thinking about when you're running through here, about car placement and about that wall on the outside of the back straight?
Don't hit the wall. No, but I think the last corner is quite tricky. I think there's a little entry curb as you sort of come around the left towards the outer wall. I was trying to be very careful on the throttle there, because I think if you're a bit too hasty, the car will quite easily just spin, and then you'll end up tapping the wall.
That was awesome. It's so great to get this insight into what you're thinking about when you're going around the circuit, and also how maybe I can grab a few of those tips and go a bit faster myself. When I see you driving out there, I wonder if you have a picture of sort of what your character is on the track. Are you a more aggressive driver? Are you a more sort of smooth driver? How do you fit in amongst the other fastest drivers on Forza Motorsport?
Yeah, I think I'm probably one of the smoother drivers, or at least that's how I feel personally. But But there's multiple driving styles that work. Just maybe for me, that's what works best.
If you had one tip to sort of pass on to people when you're thinking about getting up the leaderboard a bit in next month's rival, what would that be?
I think the one thing that I used to do to begin with to get better was whenever I would do a rivals lap, I would watch my own ghosts first, sort of see where I think I'm going wrong. Maybe try and get a little bit faster then, and then go back and review some of the faster guys. So look at the guys in the top 5, the top 10, see what they're doing. Then you can sort of refer that to your own laps, and you'll find that actually, this line's quicker, or I should be braking here. And I think that's like probably the most valuable tip I can give.
Rad. Well, thank you, Mitch, and thanks as well for coming along. That's all I had for you today. So, cheers, and we'll catch you next time, probably at the top of the leaderboard again.
Thanks so much, Ellie. I really appreciate the invite.
I look forward to seeing who else you've got in the file of facts as well. I'm obsessed with this idea now.
Yeah, it'll be a process of digging through it week on week, month on month.
Line by line. Well, a new game does mean new events too, of course. So what has the community been up to since the launch of Forza Motorsport?
Yeah, there's so much going on, and it's been a really fun time actually. Just this last few days, few weeks even has been just seeing leagues sort of popping back up, putting events together, and there are definitely some that I wanted to shout out. Inside the new game, especially, Tora just recently ran their first round of the Nissan Z Cup. They had over 80 competitors, and like a big round of applause for FRF Zoom, FRF Energy, and RZM Valkyrie, who took the podium there. So yeah. Nice one that everyone took part in that event. Another very popular event that took place was Racing Haven, who had their BMW Challenge. The first round was at Silverstone. ESV Green took the win in the first race. They have a nice structure where in the second race they have a reverse grid, and it was that race was run by Remampego. I hope I pronounced that right. So one of the harder gamer tags to get out of my mouth. But again, awesome running from everybody. There's also some events coming up that I wanted to shout out as ones that maybe you could get involved with. And ones that might be sort of the most popular events that are going to be happening soon. The first is AR12, who have an AR12 Racing Championship, and that's presented by Thrustmaster. There's a $5,000 prize pool. I believe the way that happens is you can sign up, and then 20 drivers are picked at random to race in the final race. So if you want to have a chance to get some cool prizes, but also to race in a fun race with AR12, then definitely get over there and have a look at that. Delta Online Racing is the next one I wanted to mention. They have an upcoming touring car championship, and I think it's one of the first touring car championships of any of the leagues out there. I always love a TCC when I see them. It makes me want to get out and race. I know that's the case for a few other community members as well. There's some great touring cars in Forza Motorsport, and I think they've done a great job balancing them for this event. The first one will be taking place on the 12th of November, so there's still a little bit of time to get behind the wheel, get practicing, get your race paint, get everything looking correct, and then get out there on the grid. And the last group I want to shout out is a friend of Forza Monthly. We previously featured them in the community spotlight, and that's Rusty Garage, a group over in Italy. They're starting up on November the 13th, and they're going to have a series which is like Group C racing cars. So that's sort of early 90s prototypes, always very popular to race in, very, very fast cars, so quite hard to go wheel to wheel in them. And that's called the Classic Prologue, and you can check that out over on Rusty Racing's site as well. So much happening.
Amazing, as always. And we've got a community calendar of the weeks to look at as well with more events. So let's take a look at that. What have we got going on this week?
Yeah, let's dive right in. Here, I want to shout out a few of the Forza Horizon 5 events as well. Of course, that's a huge community, and there's loads of stuff happening there. We've got Light Club, their role play continues, and it's been amazing how long that's run, but also there's always space for new people to join. So do definitely get involved if you're up for doing that. There's also livery competitions and photo competitions from the FH5 Livery and Designs crew. Now, I think they've changed their name to FH5 SYC, if I remember rightly, and then FH5 UK as well. Also, over on the Forza Motorsport side, one thing I want to shout out is Late Night Racing, still out there on Forza Motorsport 7. They're going to be running their Roto Pacer Championship all the way through until the 17th of November. So if you're on FM7 and you want to be getting involved in some racing, then definitely check out Late Night Racing. I'll add they also do stuff on the new game as well, so you can take part on either side there. And the last group that I wanted to shout out is FTC. They're running their Race Academy. It's been going forever, but now they've moved it over from FM7 to Forza Motorsport, so you can get involved and learn a little bit about racecraft with the FTC crew.
Great. Thank you very much, Ali. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks a lot. See ya.
And here we are, we're at the end of the show. A huge thanks to Andy and Brendan from Turn 10, the Playground Games team, Mars, Ali Tech, Leah from the past, and each and every one of you for tuning in today. If you need more Forza, then stay where you are, because we'll be sending a raid over to ESV Mars' channel shortly. And hopefully we'll see you next month. Goodbye.